Hi, guys. Welcome to Livzenastrology. My name is Ella Ivy, and I wanted to go over some energy updates for this week of February 19th through the 26th. And the sun just entered Pisces today, which I don't know if you guys can feel it. The frequency has shifted from the sun being in an air masculine sign, which was Aquarius, now going into a watery feminine sign, which is Pisces. So I'm going to look on here to make sure I'm live, just to make sure the technology is where it needs to be here, because I've got some shares that I want to bring you guys. Okay, it looks like I'm live here. Okay. So yeah, the mantra that came in today upon Grand Rising, which this is also, you're going to be able to differentiate some of the energy flow that's different in the fact that you might be more dreamy, you might be more tired, you might be more or less inclined to go full force and be a lot in the thoughts. Because with Pisces, it's about the psychic realm, it's about the dream state, it's about feeling kind of like you're lost at sea a bit, kind of, fuzzy. Because Pisces rules the dreams, but it also rules illusions, deceptions, it rules escapism. So, but it also rules, art and media and artistic thoughts. So if you think about the frequency of Pisces, right? Pisces likes to be free flowing, it's the ocean, right? So we can definitely feel ourselves getting into this more of oceanic um, consciousness. Again, very feminine. We're coming from a masculine component of Aquarius into a feminine, and this is just the sun, right? But we still have planets in Aquarius right now. And this week is an important, there's a couple different transits that are happening this week that I wanted to point to for you guys. And I wanted to pull some cards for you as well from this incredible Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck. And I thought it was really apropos to pull from this deck because, we're going into Pisces, and Pisces rules the ocean. It's the water, right? The watery realms of the unconscious, which is that which is unseen. So think about whenever you go to the beach and you're looking at the horizon point of the ocean, you can see the top, the surface of the water, but we don't know what's hidden underneath the water. We can get glimpses of it, right? We can go out fishing for certain, fish or certain things, or we can go and we have aha moments of what we see in the water. And supposedly we only know what's in 10% of what dwells in the ocean, right? So that's a metaphor also for we only know 10% of what's going on in our subconscious, right? Below the conscious realm, which makes it unconscious, which makes it not known, right? So, but we've also got these interesting configurations because today at 16 degrees, we've got Chiron, which is our wounded healer, which is our wounds, but it's also where our medicine is right next to our north node in Aries, which is what we've come to learn. So when it's at 16 degrees, when you're studying numerology, you want to break that down to a single number, which is the 7, which is also what rules Neptune, which rules Pisces, right? So we just entered into this Pisces Neptunian realm. We've got the opportunity through the wounds of the child to show up in a new way with our psychic abilities. So what does that mean? Well, what was coming in really strong was, some of us may have had very strong psychic abilities when we were younger, and somehow maybe through parental engagement or just the adults in our lives that we try to tell the story about what we're seeing or who we're seeing or what we're witnessing on the other realms, because I feel that children are very psychic. However, that might have been squashed, right, because of the fear of the adults, or a lot of times in this environment, in this realm, children are taught not to use or imagine. Oh, you're just imagining that. Well, what's wrong with imagination? What's right with imagination? Pisces is all about the imagination. So this is the time, this week especially, that we're being asked to use our imagination, that we're being asked to perhaps allow ourselves to be more psychic, to turn on our psychic abilities, to have those abilities reactivated within us, because right now is a time for us to the medicine is in the wound, right? The medicine is in having these aha moments about what our inner child wants, creating from a space of safety and connecting to other realms of consciousness that perhaps before we may have not been able to access, or we shut down because of fear, right? So stepping into the energy of bravery, Aries, is the time to access our gifts, our psychic gifts. And psychic gifts can be in the forms of, like, you get premonitions, precog, it rules the dream state. So this would be a really good time right now, guys, to keep a dream journal right by your bed. And you don't have to write down everything. There's actually even apps for that too, on how you can just kind of capture your dreams, and even just like one or two words of your dreams. Like last night, I was dreaming really profusely about old jobs and old relationships, and the moon's in Cancer right now. So the Cancer rules the past, past families, past um, relationships, past, you know, ancestors. So your ancestors may be trying to contact you now or speak to you, especially when the moon's in Cancer. And remember, the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. So the moon's going to be flowing into Leo, which follows Cancer. And then it's going to be going into Virgo, which we've got a full moon in Virgo happening on the 24th, which is something else we're going to be talking about. But we also have this major conjunction with Mars, our masculine, which is not so much gender based, but it's more frequency. So think of our masculine like the electro part of us, the electric part of us, and then the feminine, which is Venus, which is the magnetic. So we're electromagnetic beings. And it's going to be exactly, they're going to be exact conjunction together on Wednesday. So today, when I'm filming this is the 19th, this is Monday, Moon Day. Tuesday is Mars Day, and Wednesday's Mercury Day, right? So, and it's going to be this conjunction, they're going to be at the exact same degree point, which I'm not sure exactly the degree point. I think it's going to be 5 degrees, if I'm not mistaken, 5 or 6 degrees. So you want to look at the numerology in that as well. And I want to make sure to know exactly what that is. So I'll look that up. But, and I can't figure out how to screen share with this StreamYard going live to everybody. Yeah, that's kind of a different component. So anyway, I just realized I'm not going live on my main page. That's okay. That's all right. Meant to be. But anyway, I wanted to share with you guys that there's this conjunction happening with Mars and Venus, right? Our masculine or our feminine. And it's Aquarius. So Aquarius is about aha moments. It's the higher octave of Mercury. And Mercury is the mind, it's our thoughts, it's our words. So are we speaking from a loving place? Are we speaking from a balanced masculine, feminine? Is our electromagnetic frequency really like our toric field? Is it unencumbered through perhaps negative thinking, perhaps fear-based thoughts, perhaps of fear of our psychic abilities? Because again, this is all coming online. This is very Piscean, and the sun is shining its light on how deeply psychic we all are. We all have these abilities, but some of us may have tuned it off because of fear, because of what happened in the past, because of things maybe we've seen in childhood that we didn't understand. So we shut it down, right? So this is just something to be aware of as well, guys, as we're moving through these realms of consciousness. But I went ahead and picked 3 cards. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I did the 3 cards for my own personal pool. So I'm going to do a collective card pool because I felt like it was relevant to messages. But as I'm speaking, even now, I'm using my psychic ability. I'm hearing that there wants to be 1 card for the collective pulled that is for this group here who's going to be drawn to watching this, who is a vibrational match to this reading, to this energy update, to my frequency. And this is what's coming through. Okay. So the card is green, which I really love. So when you're looking at card pools, there's a couple different things I look at. I look at the color first, sticks out to me. Before I even look at the words, I look at the color because everything's frequency and vibration. And so the words are vibrating in this color scheme. And this is the card that I pulled here. It's a number 9, amble with contentment. Waiting rather than acting is going to be most advantageous right now. This is the card here, which I think it's interesting. We just talked about this conjunction happening with Mars and Venus, because if I'm not mistaken, seahorses, it's the masculine seahorses that carry the 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 babies right in their pouch. So that's another sort of interesting dynamic with nature. And I'm going to go ahead and read what it says, because I really like, 9 is a number of completion. So we might be completing some energies while the sun was in Aquarius and moving into Pisces, again, with this harmonic flow of the masculine and feminine together in Aquarius. What house is that showing up for? Where is this balancing act happening in your chart? So you want to look to see which house is cusping, or where Aquarius is cusping which house, because that's where this first transit that we're going to be looking at this week is going to be happening with this conjunction. And it's a big one. It hasn't happened for 2 years. So this is a frequency or an energy that we haven't felt in 2 years. So think about 2 years ago where you were, and where maybe Mars and Venus were together in your chart. And I'm not sure what sign that is. I'd have to do some research on that. But right now it's coming into Aquarius. So the message for this particular card, again, card pull for the collective for today, is trust your gut feelings or your sensitivity to give you information about your current situation. So again, this is another confirmation about your psychic abilities, that you know the truth of what's happening in your life. And you are safe to be psychic. You are safe to access these realms now, that you're not unsafe. It's okay. It's okay to know what you know, and to feel these energies, even if what you're seeing or you're projecting is different than what you're feeling. Trust your feelings. This is what's really coming in strong right now, because Pisces is very about the feeling state, about how you just have these psychic aha moments, awareness, inclinations. You precog, you think about somebody, and then they call you or they text you or you see them. These are just affirmations that, yes, your psychic abilities are online. It's okay to tap into this. You're safe, right? Chiron and Aries and North Node and Aries right next to each other in a Neptunian number, which is 7 today, that it's safe for you to be psychic. That could be the mantra you say over and over and over, not just today, but all week. Could be your mantra to work with this energy. Let go of any doubts or uncertainties, as they are only going to cause you to become off balance. You may want some personal time to clear your thoughts. Things are coming to fruition, so trust that you only need to be present for this to unfold in the most positive manner. So staying present as much as you can, guys, being in the now, using your breath work. This is also a time for you to practice your meditation skills more so than ever, because Pisces rules meditation, rules yoga, it rules anything connected to tuning into your spirit, tuning into the divine, tuning into another realm of consciousness. This is why we meditate, right? These are all the practices that we're using to get to those states. So yeah, that's what's coming in right now. Let's continue to read here to see. By allowing things to flow to you, you will enable yourself to become clearer about your decisions and goals. While you might be feeling tired and wanting to give up, again, Pisces is very much about sleeping, because we do a lot of work in the dream state. And so Pisces wants to dream more and get into those realms. So if you find yourself more tired during this time, that's okay. That's just part of the flow. So just accept that part of this feminine aspect of Pisces. While you might be feeling like you're tired and wanting to give up, this card is about having faith and hanging in there. Faith is also Pisces. It's a Pisces word. Having the patience to just allow. Take a step back and trust the spiritual guidance you need is right there, ready and willing to assist you. Seahorses are considered mild-mannered and sedate creatures, which are happy to roam the oceans. Their tiny stature is structured for sauntering. Oh, I love that word, sauntering. This is the time of the week to saunter. They do not travel at speed. They truly emanate the energy of patience and happiness. Seahorses are content where they are, and they do not hurry when making changes. The seahorse will wrap its tail around a piece of coral or some other structure to resist a strong current. They remind you to hold tight and bide your time if you find yourself being rushed or overwhelmed. And I love that too. The seahorse will wrap its tail around a piece of coral or some other structure. Well, right now we've got Pisces in Saturn, which is also structure, right? So that's also coming in to say that we've got some things, some visions of the future, some art, some spiritual creations that want to come through, but they need structure and they need time to unfold. This process of unfolding and creation cannot be rushed. Just like you can't rush a rose petal to bloom, it's going to bloom when it's ready to bloom, right? All you can do is nurture it. This is moon in Cancer. Nurture it, give it all its minerals, give it, water it appropriately, not too much water, which is too much emotion, right? So be able to manage the emotions as best you can and stay in your heart space because, with Mars and Venus next to each other, to me, conjunctions are a very ambivalent energy. Either they can get along really, really well, or they can conflict when they're next to each other, depending on how they're getting along, right? So, just from my own experience, I'm noticing that, I wanted to film today. I wanted to have certain structures and certain things, but I had to negotiate with my roommates to go, hey guys, I'm going to be filming. Can you keep it quiet? And so we had to like talk about, okay, this is going to be scheduling of when the filming is going to happen and when we can each, be in our own lane and still be sovereign, right? Because we don't want to, we each have a right to be and express the way we want to, right? But so does the other. So does your partnership, so does your family members, right? So everybody has a right to be their individuated self, but it takes some negotiation. It takes some compromise this week, especially with the full moon coming up at the end of the week on the 24th, and that's in Virgo because full moons bring illumination of where, and it's in Virgo where we are not healthy, where we do not have healthy boundaries, Pisces, because Pisces doesn't have boundaries at all. Pisces is boundless, it's the infinite, right? So, how do you structure infinity? Well, you contain it. We are the infinite beings in this physical structure, which is our body, which is our bones, right? We are literally housing infinity in our physical bodies. So was just coming in right now. It's also the dance with the other, right? Because it's about relationships. We come from the South Node in Libra, where we're coming from. This is the end of the K2 Rahu. This is the dragon's tail in Indian and Vedic astrology, where it talks about the North and the South Node, right? So the South Node is where we've come from, and the North Node is where we're going. So we're coming from Libra, which is all about relationships and compromise and the other, and we're moving into Aries, which is about the individuated self, your own unique expression. Aries, yourself, your individuated hopes, dreams, wishes, wants, needs. But how do you bring your, again, South Node, are knowing that we are in relationship with others, right? That's the basic. We're pack animals, human beings. We need each other in this realm, right? We are all about relationships. But how do you take what you've learned in relationships, the art of compromise, the art of compassionate communication? How do you take these skill sets and bring it into the North Node, which is but still be your individuated self. Still learn to be in your own lane, have your own thoughts, your own visions, and be independent and yet still in relationship with other people who also need their space, their time, their energy, right? So it's the dance. It's the dance between self and the other. It's the art of compromise. It's balancing your own spheres of your bioelectric, your electric magnetic frequency, right? And this is going to be the opportunity for this is really going to happen on Wednesday, where you're really going to have these insights because it's a Mercury day. You're going to have these insights, and this is energies happening in Aquarius about future endeavors, how you want to relate, how you want to be in the world. And of course, it's about your interpersonal relationships. So for those of you that are single or that are looking for partnership, this transit, conjunction could also signify meeting somebody new where online, because Aquarius rules technology and it rules media, um, or big technology. And so right now, if you guys are putting yourself online or if you're drawing in partnership or romantic relationship, this could be a day that you look at maybe meeting somebody online, or if you're already having a relationship with somebody online, this day, Wednesday might be an activation day where you go, huh, there might be something more to this friendship, right? Because Aquarius is about friends, groups, organizations, but it's also about your highest hopes, dreams, and wishes too, right? So just to, again, just to be, to bring awareness to some of these upcoming currents as they may be manifesting for you. This, again, this may not resonate for everybody, but for anybody watching, it's really intended that if you're drawn to this channel, you're drawn to this message, that there may be some components here for you. That was the set intention before even coming on here. And then moving into the 24th, which is the full moon in Virgo. Now, Virgo is all about our health. It's about where we want to maintain health. So again, I would invite you to look at your chart to see where Virgo is transiting. And if you want any help or need support onto where these transits are happening, you can also reach out to me, Lives in Astrology. I would love to look at these aspects for you to help you navigate these currents, especially if you're looking for something specific, whether it's going to be in partnership or health, or whatever it is that you're moving through. If you need some support, we're not meant to do this alone. So I would love to offer that support for you as well. But yeah, the 24th is always, full moons are always a good day to do some sort of ritual, right? And with full moons, it's about release. It's about looking at something, being able to see something really clearly, because the full moon, think of it like a giant spotlight, because the full moon, you can see it's illuminated and it's shining its light on something specific through that frequency of whatever sign it's in, to show you that aspect of yourself that needs to be looked at. So with Virgo, it's all about our health. It's how we take care of ourselves. It's our work and service to other beings. It's our routines, right? So now Wednesday, as we have this configuration with Mars and Venus next to each other, this balancing act, the full moon is going to show you perhaps where you're out of balance, or maybe what you're attracting in partnership. Is that created from an old timeline? Is that created from an old psychic wound, if you will? Because we're all deeply psychically connected to each other, especially during Pisces season, right? So this is another sort of awareness to bring in. If you don't want to feel everybody's everything, for those of us who are deeply empathic and who are already psychic and tuned into that aspect of ourselves, set up some boundaries with yourself. Think of it like I see it like a membrane or an orb. I just, surround myself with a nice little love bubble, this like nice little pink love bubble where I can see other people, but I can't hear them. It's like they're talking, but their mouths are just moving because I can't hear them. I can't feel their energy because I need to do that. Otherwise, I get confused as a, hey, I just had this thought. Is that my thought or their thought? Am I picking up on their energy? My back's hurting. Is that my back hurting, or is that their, again, this is just something to be aware of, because Pisces is no boundaries. So it even makes our immune system very porous during this time. So you really want to be mindful of building your immune system, making sure that you're properly rested, that you've got a lot of vitamin C. If there's any kind of, like I said, anything around you that you don't want to feel energetically, psychically, mentally, emotionally, just put up some grids, put up some boundaries. I like to spiral. I like to use the spiral energy. So when you get into, say, a denser field, or you're going out grocery shopping, or wherever you're going to be out, and you're just knowing that this month you're definitely more porous, then create this, what I call, I had a healer show me. She was a Native American woman who showed me the power of the spiral. And if I just image a spiral when I'm in certain energy fields, that, think of it like a fan. If it's going really, really fast, if you throw something at the fan, it'll repel it, right? It'll not allow the energy to come in. So I really like to work with the image of the spiral. Just imagine just a spiral around you as you're moving through certain energy fields, whether you're going out in public or going to meet your family you haven't seen in a while, or you're going into work, and there's going to be a very important meeting where maybe things might be conflicting because we still got that Mars energy happening right now. That, just make sure you've got your guards up energetically. And, the mantra, it's safe to be psychic, but also to be in this world, not of this world. is what's coming in really strong too. To be the observer as much as you can and don't get caught into other people's storylines or currents. Because that's another thing that can happen with Pisces. Think of like the ocean, right? So, what was it? The movie? What was it? It's like a Finding Nemo when they went into the current with that little turtle. It's like, come on, dude, let's travel the current. And there was like a whole bunch of beings going in that current. And so we can find ourselves, jumping into other people's currents if we're not mindful of the energy, and we can get caught into other people's stories lines and scripted into somebody's storyline that you didn't even ask to be scripted into because we just weren't aware of it, right? So that's the intention for Lives in Astrology, is that this channel practices radical oneness where we are all the one, but we are also our individuated selves in this one field of consciousness, of energy, and that can really be felt and seen during this Pisces season. So those are the transits that I really was called to bring into your attention today as we're moving through these currents. Again, really stay in your meditative practice. This is the month really to deep dive into your yoga, into your breath work, into meditation. Think of meditation as medicine. Is like cleaning up the thought forms, just like brushing your teeth or putting deodorant on, right? It's keeping your energy clean and clear. Another thing that came in really strong too, because we're going to be working with the dream state all this month. Again, keeping that dream journal. These are just points of action that you can be working with. Keeping a dream journal right next to you. Don't worry about writing down in detail what you dreamed. I mean, you can if you want to, but just write down a couple of words, key words, because as you get into meditation, these words will come up, and it's the unconscious or the subconscious, what's below the realm, showing you things about yourself that want to be looked at and seen right now. And you can even ask questions before the dream state, right? Like, what do I need to do if you're looking for a new job, right? Say this transit is happening, especially with the full moon. Where do I need to be more healthy? Do I need to be more healthy in a new job? Do I need to be more healthy in my body? Do I need different relationships or partnerships to be more healthy? Do I need to have my home, if it's in the fourth house, if this full moon is happening? Do I need a cleaner environment to feel safe and healthy? What part of your world, of your housing system, are you housing these energies that need to be looked at for a better health regimen, right? So ask yourself that in your dream state, and your dreams will show you through metaphors, where it is you need to take action to be more healthy. And that's just an example of how to use the subconscious. There's so much work out there and videos out there exploring, how to work with the dream state, I'm actually joining a community via Secret Energy, I'm really drawn to that community. And we're all working on out of body experiences, right? And how to get out of the body safely and to travel to different realms within the body purposely, with purpose. And so that means relegating how you set up your sleeping environment. And this is also apropos and something to bring in while we're in Pisces season, is to make sure that your sleeping environment feels good, right? That you've got maybe nice scented essential oils around you, that you have crystals around your bed, that you turn off the electromagnetic frequency before sleep state, right? Just allow yourself to really feel comfortable before you go to bed. And another thing too, Pisces rules the feet. So I've been led to wash my feet before I go to sleep, because if I'm entering the dream realm, I want to go in clean. I want to go in pure, like this. Again, full moon in Virgo is showing me, before you go into these subconscious states and before you ask these questions, make sure to clean up your vessel. Make sure your vessel is ready to traverse and travel these subconscious realms in the ocean. Make sure you're properly hydrated, and you're using your cell salts and maybe some magnesium spray before bed, because that also helps your nervous system. And again, washing your feet, I know that sounds strange, but the feet are ruled by Pisces. So this is a way to kind of prepare the vessel before you get into these subconscious or unconscious states, so that you can feel psychically protected, that you're not having these little microbes or organisms or things you may have picked out throughout the day to come into your state and kind of freak you out. And because all is self, right? So you're just looking at parts of you that are manifesting in these different symbolic forms, and they might be shell shocking to you, because it's just a matter of you might have picked up a little bacteria or whatever germs along the way, and that they're going to show themselves to you, right? So That's just something else to bring into the awareness this week about, I know it's strange, but these are practical tools. Keep your feet clean, keep your environment clean, keep a dream journal, keep that all this month because you've got some really psychic connections, either with ancestors or guides. And again, these are all versions of self because all is self. So these are other versions of you that you're connecting to as we're multidimensional beings that might be wanting to have a dialogue, a conversation with you. Again, Aquarius, which Mars and Venus are next to, is the higher octave of Mercury, which is the mind. So there's really these amazing blueprints of information coming to you in a very organic and psychic way, and so you just got to anchor it in Saturn and Pisces, right? Ground it in, give it some structure, and, be precise with how the energies you're inviting into your field, into your consciousness. Also, too, because we're so porous, go out and put that spiral on, stay in your own lane. Don't pick up everybody's stuff unless you want to, of course. And this is the practice, right, of delineating what's mine, what's not. This is also knowing yourself, right? Knowing how your thought patterns work. And then when you see or feel or hear a different thought pattern or out of the blue, like that's weird, make sure to use that filtration system. Okay, first of all, is this mine? Is this theirs? Even though we're all the one, did this come from my inner source or did this come from outer? Just start playing around with these questions, these frequencies. Again, asking better questions gives you better experiences. So asking these questions this week is so important because you want to know how to navigate these energies, what's coming from the deep unconscious realms of you to be looked at for your benefit. Remember, everything is happening for you. This world is divinely for you, even when if there seems to be conflict, even if there seems to be uncomfortableness, as we're negotiating ourselves with ourselves and the other. What's right about this? What's right about me having this disagreement about my time right now with my roommates or with somebody else? What's right about this situation? Because it's what it's going to do is going to show you even more how deeply connected we are with one another, how we all just want to be seen, we all want to be loved, we all want to be accepted for exactly who we are. But in order for us to have that experience, we need to have that in within ourselves first. So love who you are, accept all your imperfections or perceived imperfections, because even in the word imperfection is I'm perfect, I'm perfection, right? So these are just some of the awarenesses and points of interest to share with you guys as we're all on this journey together. And again, if you want to reach out to me for any guidance or any support in how to look at your own birth chart, I'm getting more and more. I'm going to be check out Lives in Astrology too, because I just put up some graphics on self-study sheets for those of you that are wanting to learn how to read your own birth chart and to know how to interpret these symbols and these aspects within your own chart. I'm going to be adding more offerings on Lives and Astrology, just with some graphics that I created years ago on how what helped me memorize the symbols and the meanings as I'm looking at my own chart. And so that's the offering and really the intention for you guys is because eventually, we all want to learn to know ourselves. And if we can just share what we've learned along the way with each other, then we can help us navigate these realms together more coherently with more grace and ease, with more serenity, with more balance, with more grace. That's the intention of this channel, and it's the intention of these offerings. So anyway, thank you for connecting. Thank you for tuning into this energy update. Much love as we're navigating these currents together. Okay. Love you guys. Blessings.